This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Gaz, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome. This is episode 62 of the XSC Podcast. I'm Colteastwood. I'm the host, and I'm not a very good host without my co-host, Gaz.
How you doing, man?
Oh, really good, man. Really good. You ever get so nervous that you like get gas buildups and you're like...
The only reason he's asking me this is because he sent me a video of a person who went out. I mean, you might have seen it. Someone goes out on a date, their first date, and the boyfriend goes, oh, I need to get something for my car, not realizing that they've got a webcam, and he just steps out.
The doorbell cam.
A doorbell cam, like a ring cam, and then just lets one go.
He goes out to the front. He goes out to the front steps, just like it's all on. On that note, which I think I'm not sure what note that is, but how you been, Gaz?
Good, man. It's been good. Just been busy working on a video. Work has been crazy. This week is going to be insane, but I'm looking forward to it.
I know. I'm also working on a video. I actually kind of pretty much have it done. We've both been talking about the production stuff we're doing. I love putting out videos. I got to wait on one thing, but yeah. It's we're kind of like in this little 2 or 3 week period right now where you might be wondering what in the heck you're going to play. That's kind of how I wanted to start out the show. I know you've been playing some oddball stuff, and I just finished the latest. So let me ask you first. So, what have you been playing lately that's got you all happy?
I played a revisited an old game again. Chat, if you guess it, you are legends.
Are you going to give them some kind of like direction, some clue?
Yeah. It hasn't been bested since it came out 2 generations ago. One of the most stylish games ever, an action game, which hasn't been done to this level of finesse. If you get it, that's what my next video is about, and that's what I'm going to say.
Oh, okay. You're gonna go content after this next video you're working on now. You're going to be working on this one about this. So I can at least say, because when you say 2 generations ago, people might be going, you mean like 360 PS3 generation?
That's the one.
Era?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the last clue I'll give. It hasn't been bested. I'm excited. You said I'm thinking about reviewing this. I thought that might really get people excited to see that again and revisit it. Oh man. Yeah, there's some good
started
guesses
editing it. It's really nice. One of our more stylish edits. But I'm really happy to do it. I just spent the whole weekend like, I need source material. I don't want to retread the Last of Us $70 thing because everyone's going out there, and I made a video on it already. There's still so many stupid takes on that, but like people arguing and all sorts, but I don't want to retread with the source and keep it fresh. But yeah, but I know what your video, you've been working hard on that one. It's a bit I'm really happy with it.
And I'm doing a promo in there. I have to wait to hear back from them. I'm really excited. I want to get that out there because when there isn't content on the channel, like it's super quiet, and I love talking to everybody and getting them chit chatty. But I just finished Hot Wheels DLC. Not only finished it, but 100%ed all of the content. Finished every race, every challenge, everything you hit in the game, all the online challenges, and racked up, I don't know, 150 achievement points or something like that. And no one has gotten it yet on the guesses. I think you do need a more poignant clue. How about I just say this? A third-person shooter. If you can remember everything else you said, because a lot of people are kind of guessing in the right wheelhouse. So
kind of close. Yeah, kind of in a way. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dead Time says Bionic Commando. That game went to $10 like 2 weeks after it launched because it was a critical failure in the sales department. The freaking game was so good. Do you know who voiced the main character? That's really obscure. Miles Dampier and I talked about it a long time ago. It is the lead singer of Faith No More. The guy that
really?
The guy that goes, "What is it?" Yeah, that guy. Yeah, they hired the lead singer of Faith No More to voice the main character in Bionic Commando, and he does a really good job. Those games are great. But Hot Wheels was really good, and played a little bit online with Rand and Dealer and Zocker and Hargeet and a bunch of different people.
Someone's got it in chat, by the way.
Someone got it?
Game. Yeah.
Let me see who said it. Where is it? I don't see it. Awesome.
I see it.
Well, there's so, that's actually unfair. There were so many amazing third-person shooter games in the 360 PS3 era.
Yeah. Interesting.
A lot of people said Vanquish.
Yeah. That's quite interesting.
Oh, yeah. I see another one that's got it. We'll leave it fairly obscure so that you can surprise people with that video, because I think that's going to be pretty cool. So I've been excited because Hot Wheels is kind of like the last bit of Xbox content for the next couple weeks or few weeks. Are you keeping track, like in your little Rolodex of game releases, or are you just wait until they like land in your lap? Because I'm kind of out of it.
You guys are like, you Dealer and all of you guys are pretty raw on the releases. As soon as they come out, you're on it. I'm not like that, because one, time is crazy for me. Plus, I'm a multiplayer. To be honest, I am changing that now. I don't play as much multiplayer games because the backlog just gets. I've given up playing Apex because it's like, if I carry on playing Apex, I won't be able to play the games. Then I can't do these shows and talk about them critically, because it's like, you just play multiplayer games. You don't really know anything about everything else. And to be honest, I've been feeling the pinch, like, to really play these games. But then now the problem is I play 50 other games. I played Stray. I played Forza. I was playing. Okay, that's a multiple co-op. I was playing that with Dealer. I was playing. I almost said the game that I completed just for this video. That was stupid. Loads of games. I've been playing indies. I'm playing Hollow Knight for the first time. Although I haven't played that in a couple of days. But loads of games. So I'm all over the place. Huh? Quick resume is such a problem for me, man. In my ADHD, I just can't stay still with that. The Steam Deck is insane. It's like there's so many good games on that now, and I'm lying in bed and playing Stray, and that's really good. I want to play it as Dusk Falls because apparently the story's a lot of fun.
Even Fonz and Zocker said it was good.
Why don't me and you play it together, like co-op?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I was playing It Takes Two still with Hoggy. He's not here. I don't know. I don't see him in chat. But I've been playing that.
He's here. He's here. He's listening.
Is he?
I jumped into party chat when you guys were doing your cooperation in It Takes Two.
We're taking our time with it. It's a lot of fun. What about you?
I gotta give a little public service announcement about a game, in case a lot of you like to try out shiny new games. Bright Memory Infinite is a multi-plat. The demo was exclusive to Xbox almost 2 years ago, and I know it's like $20 or $30. I know people might be wondering. I finished the game. I got half the achievements. I beat the game like 3 hours. Let me just give you the really quick mini review so you don't spend your money the right or wrong way. It is very much a 360 era, like niche, not niche. What do you call it when they use a gimmick? It's a gimmick first person shooter. You have You have a sword, kind of like Shadow Warrior. You have Titanfall type shooting combat. It's really cheesy. The story is ridiculously not really even told. You're listening to your director of the super police station in your ear. You play as a young female agent who's wearing like a leather jacket and tight jeans and fighting armored. And it's just kind of that ridiculous
very
premise.
anime style.
Yeah, kind of anime. There's
Yeah.
a massive singularity in the sky that's going to destroy the Earth, and are you going to find out what's going to happen? But it's very short. I think you get it for $20 if you already own the demo. So just
you recommend
beware. Beware if you're going to buy it. I would say that's why. That's
okay. Beware. So it's not that good.
But it's funny. I enjoyed it. Like when I was playing it, the shooting was great.
Okay.
I slid around. I sliced and parried and all that stuff. And you get like your typical like side, 45-degree angle pistol, kind of like in Titanfall 1. You have your assault rifle, your shotgun, and it's made by 4 or 5 people, a Chinese developer, a guy that made it. He brought on a small team. So it's kind of a testament to what a small team can do in a short amount of time. So Christopher Jetzer says it's $20. So I'll just tell you, beware. If you think that sounds like something you'll like, you will have an enjoyable 3 hours, and then you'll kind of go, that's it. So just beware. And then some people are like, you're selling me on the game, but hey, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I have fun with games. As some people say, cool, you like crappy games. So
because he likes Xbox.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to talk about some of the updates and some of the small things that we talked about with Xbox, but Gaz and I are going to talk about some new games that are coming and where Xbox is sitting with future plans internationally and what's going on with Marvel and DC superhero games on Xbox and what the possible future is there. But first of all, I got to ask you guys, I only use Discord for reactionary messages or to jump on certain podcasts. Like I'll get a DM from Special Nick and I'll reply. It's really the only time I use Discord, but you use it quite a bit. So what does Discord on Xbox mean? And I'm sure you kind of looked into what Xbox's plans are. And this is something that broke like 5-6 days ago.
Yeah, I think for me, it's a big deal. It came out of nowhere. It came out of left field. I thought PlayStation was going to get it first because they bought whatever shares in Discord. And then all of a sudden, Microsoft has Discord voice integration before anyone else, which is a big deal. It's very surprising. Came out of nowhere. Xbox's voice party chat voice quality is leagues ahead of PlayStation's. And now it's going to be obviously more uniform when PlayStation also eventually adopt it. To me, it's great news to have because I've got friends on PlayStation. I play a lot of multiplayer games, multi-platform games with cross-platform multiplayer. So that's going to make a big difference. It's for me, it's a big deal. It's a big game changer, and also I plan to do a lot with we plan to do a lot with Discord and Game On Daily because we're looking to launch a show where as well it's just more community focused, and I'm going to use Discord for that. So it's a big deal. I'm not in the insider thing. I was in the insider ring for years, but I opted it out when the Series X came out because there were some issues. Some people are having problems. I'm like, I don't want problems with this. Kind of regret.
Yeah, I had problems in the insider thing, and I left it for a while. Now I'm kind of have to be in it with stuff that Xbox sends early. Like,
or maybe I am because I got the Halo Infinite review code. Didn't I need to be in it?
I don't remember. I think you might be in it.
They gave you a weird build. Yeah, I don't know.
So what would be the big boost for Xbox people? Like be able to talk to their friends that are on PC. I mean, because Xbox already has a Xbox has a PC app, so it helps you get on with PlayStation people once they get Discord.
The party chat is rubbish, man, compared to Discord. The quality divide is huge, especially for you because I'm on PC a lot, and then I join your party chat and have so many problems. Although I'm playing on Xbox now more, you
have problems with the Xbox PC app. It's still as unstable as it was 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It closes on you.
The console is fine, but on PCs, it closes on me. weird messages, doesn't tell me I've joined in. There's just loads of things.
Yeah.
But Discord is going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal because the PC and Xbox gamers play a lot, and PlayStation. So it's just more uniform towards the future. And the looking for group stuff wasn't all that great. Whereas Discord, you got communities and you can use that. You just use it on your mobile, though. They need to have deeper integration natively onto the console. But,
I mean, I wonder if you could link into stuff, but I guess there's a lot to do. And it sounds like Xbox is pretty committed to a full integration of Discord on there. So, when that news broke, I wasn't like jumping out of bed to make a video, right?
Yeah.
It was kind of different. One of the things that did break today was that Xbox cut their boot time down cut it down 6 seconds. It was already
pretty fast.
I think it was 6 seconds to boot up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys should restart your console very often to kind of get get the wrinkles out, but like it's less than 45 seconds from shutting down to a full shutdown restart, plus all your quick resume things stay there. But I don't know. This is a strange thing they're working on. I didn't think they needed this, but you heard about this.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Good. I mean, who can complain about that? Although I did see some people complaining about it, saying, use that time to fix game DVR. I don't think it works that way.
That's what I'm ready to go into. So, are you using the game DVR as much as I am?
Only when I share on Twitter because it's broken. So I use a capture card for my game footage, which is absolute ball ache for me. Because I have a 4K TV and an ultra wide monitor and have so many issues. And but yeah, if the game DVR works, a lot of people in chat who want to make content on YouTube and stuff, that would be the best avenue for that. It's just not that good.
I had like 2 Bright Memory Infinite. I have such a hard time saying that word. Bright Memory Infinite. I always want to say Infinite because of the memory. I have 2 clips that I tried to share that were really good, and every time the DVR said, "We can't share this clip right now."
Wow,
and the best part is when you're in party chat, like you'll be talking to me and I'll hit record that, or I'll hit take a screenshot, and this is what it sounds like when you're talking. Like, Cole, I need to.
Oh, really? While you're doing it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm very shocked at how Microsoft has left that happen for 2 years, man. It's just pretty bad. It's really bad.
It wasn't as much of a problem on the Xbox One X, which is so weird. Because what it feels like to me, it's like the processor is dying. Like the processor is like bottled up, and it can't, not bottled up. The processor's like over... What's the word? It's like
overload.
It's under massive load because like Zucker's talking to me and I took a screenshot and he goes, "Yeah, I'm probably going to put 3 videos a week."
I don't know. They need to fix that. And dealers have been very vocal about it. Everyone has been. It's like, yo, it's time to fix it. This is a basic thing. You want people to share your clips, spread your propaganda, right? So what the hell? Weird.
Propaganda. It's what's a word for news that is forced, biased, and untrue?
Colteastwood.
Oh, yeah, propaganda. Yeah, that's right. No. Dealer and I are talking to Jason Ronald once in a while, and he told both of us separately that was a priority for their team to fix the DVR, and that was right after the launch of the Series X. So it's been about 18 months, and
must be a tough problem. I don't know why.
I think it's a problem they don't
know how to fix.
No,
bit weird.
It's a problem that does not matter. I think that's really where it comes from. I also talked to somebody that said not enough people use it, and it's not essentially core to the system, so they are not putting labor hours and labor time on it. So, what did you say? What did you say?
Only we complaining, really, don't we? Me, you, dealer, and some other people. I've heard obviously some people in the community, but there isn't that much backlash on it, which is weird. I find.
I hear the complaints like here and there in the on Twitter and stuff. Like people know it's a problem. They're sick and tired of it. The good thing is when I hit record that, that's mostly what I do is I say record that last 3 seconds. 99% of the clips are good to go when I bring them into production. And that used to be a problem where I bring it in and no audio or it's corrupted.
Oh, okay.
That was also a problem on PlayStation. I haven't recorded on there for a while. I recorded lots of Miles Morales and God of War Ragnarok, or God of War and Days Gone when I got my PS5, and half the clips were corrupted, or you'd get in the middle of them and they were like freeze frame and they were just completely messed up. And that was a problem on Xbox once in a while. But so they fixed that. But who cares, right? Hargeet Chani, who's in the chat. Hargeet Chani, I've talked so much, man. He's so great.
Nice guy. Yeah.
He's so good. He says, thank you so much for the $10 super, Hargeet Chani. As he gets it kicked off with the super chats here on the XNC podcast, I'm here with my co-host, Gaz from Game On Daily. If you want to get all of your news in one place, go to gameondaily.com/ no, I'm just kidding. Just gameondaily.com. Yeah, and check out, you can go buy Xbox. If you want Xbox, they've got Xbox news all in one page. No ads, clean and clear. This is a commercial that I'm doing for you, bro. Really good site. I actually make sure I check it before we run the show to make sure I'm not missing any of the hot news. Check out the stuff they're doing on there, and follow Gaz and subscribe his information.
Oh yeah, I'm posting XNC there right now. You can paste your own stuff there as well. It's an aggregation platform, so make sure
I never do that. I just leave it alone. But
I do your stuff there.
Oh, you're a nice guy. Maybe you're gonna have to post that little meme I made today. Hargeet Chani with the super says, "Wait, PlayStation put a game day and date on Spartacus? PlayStation isn't supporting the devs. PlayStation community needs to get out there and buy Stray to tell them to stop this insanity. What's next? Free upgrades? $40 remakes? Hargeet's so messy.
Toxic. You toxic person.
You played Stray. Tell the good people what this 3-hour game means to you.
I'm gonna be I'm very early into the game and I'm pressing A a lot and I'm a bit bored already.
X.
I'm a bit A on the Steam Deck, sorry.
You're playing on Steam Deck. That's right.
Yeah. And I'm really bored at the moment. But slow burner. If it's 3 hours long, then I'm quite far in. I don't think I am.
How's that cyberpunk environment look?
It looks really nice. My voice went really high. It looks really nice on the Steam Deck. It's a very impressive little machine. Although it blows hot air from the top, it gets really hot. You use it as a bloody blow dryer. That's how my hair as I'm playing it. But
your mustache is going.
Your mustache. It's not that long. I haven't shaved. But yeah, no, it's a good looking game. Interesting premise. I didn't like it immediately as I thought I would, but I'll try. I was very early days. I cast a very critical eye on games when I assess my enjoyment of them.
Everybody likes it though. I mean, I haven't really heard much other than some people say it's boring, but I've heard most people really like it. It got an 86, 8.5 or whatever or higher, which is you should buy it. I don't know. My friend who I game share with on PlayStation said, "Hey, log in and grab the game and play it." And I said, "I haven't turned on my PlayStation since Elden Ring came out." So yeah, but now, like, I'm seriously, guys, and audience, I'm literally just hit the point where I'm like, okay, I finished Hot Wheels. I went all the way through the World Series, played over 120 games on MLB The Show. Finished Bright Memory Infinite. I've tried a bunch of other stuff. I'm like kind of like at that point where until the next big game, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, comes out, I need something a little different. I feel like a lot of people have been experimenting, right? Like this past couple of weeks, right? You're on the Steam Deck. You're like trying out games on the Steam Deck. People are trying out new stuff and the Dusk Falls, right?
Because it's quite dry on the Xbox front other than the Hot Wheels DLC, which is great, which is absolutely stunning. I never got to play the Forza Horizon 3 one, so for me, it's just like, wow. I constantly wow, and Dino's like, okay, shut up, Gaz. I'm like, wow, look how nice it looks. Wow. It's so nice. The graphics in this game is sick. This game is just amazing. If you play in first-person mode, you feel like, I wish there was a VR mode because it feels actually really cool. You get a sense of vertigo sometimes as well.
Wait. Are you talking about Stray still?
No, I'm talking about Forza Horizon 5 Hot
Wheels. I was going to say.
What?
I'm looking up something while you're talking. I'm like, first person mode in Stray. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. But you can press left trigger to kind of focus. But yeah, no, it's a decent game. I mean, Stray is a decent game. I very early on, please don't use that as some sort of review. Forza Horizon Hot Wheels. A lot of people will experiment. I think because of the relative dry spell as far as AAA third-party games are concerned, people are going to be more inclined to really kind of get their bang out their butt from Game Pass. And a lot of people have, as a result of that, played as Dusk Falls, and they're enjoying it. Zorka said he enjoyed it after making fun of it.
Even Fonz. Fonz is like, for anybody who's a really old Gen Xer, you know, born in the early 80s, right? Fonz is the Mikey Likes It commercial for the Life cereal. There's an old commercial where two kids are sitting down. There's this grumpy kid, and he goes, "Here, try some Life cereal juice." And there's kids are like 6 years old, and he's like, "Mikey likes it." And it was like something we used to say back in the day. And like Fonz is super, you know, really careful about games, whether he's going to spend the money.
Very diplomatic way of saying he just likes to all day. No.
It's so true, right? It's so true. So yeah, Fonz likes it. Zocker just finished it like right before the show launched. If you don't know who Fonz and Zocker are, they're on the RDX podcast. I've been friends with these guys for like 5 years, so we talk every day. Yeah,
Tim Dog's loving it.
Tim Dog, yeah. So
he's
now
playing on his mobile.
I better play this.
It's a good kind of cloud game because obviously you don't need that kind of like raw, like you know, native hardware to really enjoy that kind of game. So yeah, no, me and you should play that. We should definitely play that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's do co-op. It's not my kind. I say it's not my kind of game. It's not something that gets me excited. I'm playing Disco Elysium. That's a slow crawl. That's an incredible game, though. Even I can appreciate that. But this with co-op, that's really unique. I think me and you would have a lot of fun. Everyone says the story is really good, so why not? Let's try out. That's the thing with Game Pass. Irrespective of how critical I am of Xbox, the variety with Game Pass is amazing. I don't want to shill Game Pass because I've seen so much shilling with the best value service in gaming. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You're not Paris Lily. Stop doing that. Stop saying that.
I'm just mad at Xbox. I think they should have cracked the wallet and paid for a lot more, knowing they lost two or three of their major AAA offerings. Stalker and Redfall and Starfield. Once they knew that those were out, they should have been cracking the wallet and saying, "Look, what can we throw in there?" You got to at least throw one thing in. I think they're still going with what we had planned, and I think they're in a position where they can do. They need to bend over backwards, even more than Game Pass. How amazing it is.
I will say this though.
You argue with me right now. Go.
No, I will argue against that. In that, I do believe Xbox are going to have an incredible years going forward, and this is going to sound such a stupid shill line, but based on what they've told me, just looking at what's out in 2022, it's just going to be amazing. And from there on, then it's just going to be so busy. And as content creators, we're going to have to take time. Yeah, it's going to be. I think next year is going to be really epic because of what. Once they get into this drive, once hopefully these COVID things. I know. You know what? If anyone's watching this, go wait for another year. I understand how it sounds. I completely understand how it sounds. This year is an L as far as I'm concerned, comparatively. Yeah. But next year, I'm really excited. Someone in chat asked me, "Are you excited more for PlayStation's future or Xbox?"
Let's
think
clarify.
PlayStation holds a torch against Xbox.
Let's clarify. This year is an L for exclusivity on Xbox because, like, this is actually a pretty good year. You got Elden Ring, took up most of the first half of the year. Yeah, and then Modern Warfare 2 is going to be huge, and there's a couple other games. We're going to talk about them later on. But yeah, those other games, that's important to have some exclusives on your platform. And I think we talked a couple weeks ago.
Didn't we? Yeah. I mean, this year will be remembered for us. I'm kind of glad that you know from a journey, right? PlayStation, when PlayStation 4 last gen, it had a terrible start until Bloodborne came out. Everything was rubbish, including the Order 1886, which is one of the worst games I've played. So that is so beautiful and rubbish. So I'm like, let these early struggles happen. Let them get this stuff right. In many ways, I'm very admire that Microsoft haven't pushed Starfield to be released because that needs to be a banger. Redfall to be delayed as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there, a lot of games to play. I think on the PlayStation side, I'm not even that excited, to be fair, apart from God of War. That's the only thing I really care about. So when you say it's a PlayStation's year, I'm like, Gran Turismo, I'm not really... I've got the game, but I can't be asked to play it. I know Forza's coming. I've got Spider-Man. I've got all these games I've bought, but I haven't played them because I just...
Yeah, I didn't buy Gran Turismo 7 because, I didn't buy it yet. I can make this personal a little bit when we talk about this lack of games and stuff like that. Like, ever since the showcase, like to do content on YouTube, right? And I know if you're in the chat, like we got 600 people watching the show. Thank you all for being here. Really means a lot. Like Gaz and I have a lot to talk about and a lot to say. And it's cool to be able to talk about our opinions. News has been quiet, and you all who are here and in the chat and who are all watching or listening on Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple, like you all know where the news is. Like you have your finger on the pulse. That's why you watch shows like this. You know when the news is hot, you know when the news is low. And for me, like when I think about, oh man, it would be really great if they had stuff in the pipeline or they had stuff in the works, because then I could talk about it. So that's been really difficult. And I think about Game Pass. If I was Microsoft or Xbox looking at the Game Pass number, because when you're a content creator, kind of why I was setting that up, guys. When you're a content creator, your metrics or your numbers are a big part of what you're doing, and they get shoved to you every day. And YouTube will tell you, Gaz, you suck right now. Colt, you're losing subs. You're not gaining any traction. You're not getting views. Your channel's dying, right? And I think, gosh dang it, I need to do something. I need to make the best video I can make this week. I need to make it amazing. I got to hit all the good points. I want people to really enjoy it. And I got to make more content that people can really enjoy. I'm not going to sit there and let it die. And so that's why I'm saying, Gaz, why would Xbox sit there knowing that their subscribers on Game Pass dipped and then held on a bottom line, and they're really going to sit and go, it'll be okay come February or March 2023. Say that in June or July?
I don't think they were caught unawares. I mean, because all indications were that they've already found out quite late about Starfield and Redfall, because that doesn't make sense. Otherwise,
a week before they recorded the showcase was what we were told. And welcome Justin Maroney to the channel. I think welcome to the channel access. You've got early access to videos and merch giveaways every month, and the Joanna Dark pick. And I've got a couple supers here before. It's so funny when I think about. I'm sorry. Go back, Gaz. I interrupted you. About the subscribers plateauing down.
Oh yeah, I mean, my channel's tiny ant compared to yours, but in terms of views, you know, me and you, we work so hard on our videos. It's 24 hours
sweat.
At least. I sweat, bro. In a heat wave, I wore a bloody hoodie, and people need to give me respect for that. No, don't. I was just stupid. I had a T-shirt that I should have worn. That I was so stupid. In terms of content creators, I would see it's a great challenge. This video that I'm working on, it's Max Payne, okay? It's Max Payne. I was dying. Someone got it right. I wanted to say, I'm trying not to say, I'm just like, I want to talk to you about it. It's Max Payne 3.
You're like, you're like a teenager at school. Like, I can't hold it in any longer.
But Max Payne 3 is incredible. In Max Payne 3 I played it. It almost completed it in one sitting. It was so ahead of the game. It came out 2 generations ago, and there are games out right now. 99% of games won't have the animations that it has, or the AI.
Better than Control.
Bro, it's not better than the controller. It's better than mouse and keyboard.
No. I said it's better than Control.
Oh,
the
shit.
Game.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's way better.
It poops. It poops on Control. It poops on Controller's nothing.
Don't give away too much, but
on Max Payne? No, I won't.
Before you do your review, leave them waiting and hoping. and hoping and waiting and stuff.
Well, the title will make it
that.
clear of what I'm going for, but I'm really happy with the editing so far. And you'll like what I do with the videos, got a little bit of a gas flare in it. But it's such a good game. But Rockstar made that game, but Remedy created Max Payne. And I know a lot of people were very like, oh, yeah, a lot of purists were like, I don't like this new Max Payne. He's all like fat and he's got like Hawaiian shirt and it's not totally not
so
the
good
same
when he shaves
as
his
the
head
one.
though.
Yeah, it looks good, bro.
It's in the era where they brought in I can't remember that guy. He's been in a lot of TV shows too. It's in an era where they wanted the guy, the face motion and voice capture all in one. It's one of the reasons why we lost the original Sam Fisher in Blacklist around that same time. We wanted somebody who could do it all, you know.
Yeah.
He's jumping over counters and shooting and then drinking and talking and
yeah, the animations are insane. Like unscripted stuff you'll see in my video that wasn't scripted. That was just amazing. It's like it's insane. It is available on Xbox, but the problem is on the Xbox, it's not
recently available on Back and Pat.
Yeah, very recently available. It hasn't got FPS boost. It hasn't got the res upgrade, which it needs. If it did, it would run super smooth. I played it on PC, and yeah, just pull off. Yeah, it's so nice. It's so
I beat it twice on the 360, and then I got it for $9 on Steam or Rockstar or whatever, Rockstar launcher.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's I can't wait to see what you do with that. Hargeet brings up a good point. Thanks, Hargeet, for the super with the $10 super. Hargeet's keeping the lights on here at Colteastwood Studios. We love Hargeet. Hargeet's amazing. No, I'm just kidding. Hargeet's awesome. Hargeet has a really good point that opens up another can of worms. He says, glass half full. We'll likely see Deathloop. Now, I'm going to pause right there and add a couple of things before I finish the rest of Hargeet's super chat. Where the heck is Deathloop? Like, I'm pretty sure it's just going to drop on a Game Pass tweet. But I was looking today, where's Kena Bridge of Spirits, which came out in September last year? Is there an Xbox version? Like, PlayStation got a bunch of games to pad out their first year that were just timed exclusives. And
yeah,
you see these games like drop on PlayStation so fast after they've been exclusive to Xbox. But it's weird. PlayStation does these weird deals. Like, I think there's more than a couple of games that are probably supposed to drop this year on Xbox. I'm going to ask you about Deathloop in a second. Hargeet says Halo Infinite will have all. I'm going to take us off limits for the rest of this comment. He says Halo Infinite will have all of its base features, so consider it a re-release this fall. Don't you say it, Gaz. Don't say it. He says if ABK happens this year, we'll get Modern Warfare 2 in Game Pass, he means, but not
no
terrible.
chance is happening this year.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same.
ABK is not happening this year. I'm sorry, Hargeet. I disagree with you.
Yeah, what's your quick reasoning and why ABK? We talked about it last week, I think.
Hargeet made some good points about, the trajectory and if there's no litigation and European regulatory bodies approving it. But it's a big acquisition to untangle. And even if they abide by the timelines they've stipulated, summer of next year or something around then, I'll be very impressed. It's a very big deal. And they have to tread carefully because, like we've said ad nauseum, it's a political exercise. You can't rush it through. The FTC will want to somehow make an example out of this deal. Because if they let this go without any scrutiny or any kind of real resistance, that's gonna set a precedent. Everyone's gonna be like, all right, well, if a $70 billion acquisition in the tech industry of all places just go through this quick or quicker than anticipated, who cares? FTC has no teeth. So it's going to try and, in my opinion, I'm not a mergers and acquisitions lawyer, but in my opinion, they'll want to get their pound of flesh somehow publicly. They will,
I mean, the
Bungie
thing took like a month. It was so funny. Like, it was so fast.
I mean, yeah, comparison. You know what? In many ways, the ABK deal is making it easier for other companies to acquire studios. Like even $3 billion. Sony's like, yeah, well, this is just 3, man. They got 7 60 billion, and all these studios. You only got one studio.
Yeah, like
and the FTC is like, wow, that was a bad
FTC's got this stack of this file they're working on for Microsoft, and somebody slips by and is like, "Hey, we're buying Capcom." They're like, "Yeah, let me sign it. Just get it out of here. I'm busy."
Yeah, and Sony, watch this space. This year they'll acquire another studio or a publisher. A big move is coming. They're rallying their lawyers internally to start, but actually poising themselves to battle any regulatory interference. They're really in-house team, or well, not in-house lawyers, but they are enhancing their legal support, in light of anticipated acquisition. So Sony could be working on that big one, and I'm talking about a big one. It could be a Capcom, it could be something crazy like that. They are mobilizing to make the big moves. And this is the year to do it. Of course, Sony has the big brain. It's like now Microsoft is stalled as a result of ABK. This is the time to move. They're deadlocked. Let's get these big ones, because this is it. This is the watershed moment in gaming, people. The platform holders, this is their chance to buy. For the
Sony already has the money, and PlayStation's making a lot of. They're making a good profit margin right now. Hey, if you're enjoying the show and you like Gaz and Colteastwood here on the XSC, hit the like button to show your support. Let's get that up to 1 billion, or at least maybe 500. If you guys are having a good time, we are getting into the topics. I got a couple supers here from. This one's interesting because of the reaction I have to this one. Garuda and Trudeau with the Australian $5, and shout out to the Australian folks who are hanging out with us this morning or this early afternoon. Said, just now in the lunchroom at work, I was playing Forza Horizon 5 via cloud with my Xbox controller. People were blown away. Says Xbox needs to push it to the normies. And Gaz, I feel like Xbox pushes more to the normies than to the hardcore.
Well, that's a good point. That's an interesting one, actually. It is pushing for the global appeal, and in many ways it's working. In Japan, it's working. The core gaming circle is quite small relative to the big part of the gaming pie, let's be honest. So there's that. At the same time, you've got Garuda saying, like, look, Microsoft doesn't market cloud well. I think the reason why they're doing that, they're being tentative just yet, is because the technology is not there. Garuda, I've been intrigued to know how well it performed, because I haven't used cloud in a while, but I will do. I was thinking of testing it for a video, actually.
You know what I rarely hear? I rarely hear that it just didn't work for me. I'm actually hearing people saying it's almost like natural. That's what I hear the most.
You get used
to
Chat,
let delay, us know if you hear you're mostly hearing that xCloud works pretty good or really good. I hear a lot of that. Tim Dog, funnily enough, if that's even a word, uses xCloud more than anybody in this community. He uses it all the time during his breaks at work, or when he's at family's house and doesn't want to deal with them and be bored. It's fantastic. Eagles fan 76 with a $5 says, thank you, Eagles fan. Says, honestly, Gaz and Colt and Gaz, I feel like I'm in a gaming funk since the E3 show. I might get excited when the Activision Blizzard deal closes, but really, good news has been slow.
Eagles fan is exactly how a lot of people actually feel, but pretend to themselves that they aren't feeling. I see that a lot. I feel like, well, Game Pass, they keep throwing the Game Pass line. It's so annoying. Of course, you're giving ammo to the ponies every time you say it that way, because even I'm thinking, just come on, guys. Eagles fan, I will say this. I completely understand where you're coming from. But it is just this year. And I'm kind of glad it happening early on, where we're still in this cross-gen, stupid time waste phase, in my opinion. Next year, it should be all out. I was talking, okay, so, and you guys think, somebody say, oh, you guys are such shills. Oh, next year already. And you know me, I don't hold back. I'm literally blurting out what's in my mind. But as content creators, like, we have to plan our content. Like, literally, we think of YouTube 24/7. And I was talking to you, Cole, and I said, next year, we're going to be so busy. Like, I get 28 days annual leave. I'm just going to use all of that for making big releases for videos. Starfield needs at least a week for me to enjoy that game. So next year, it's going to be insane. Eagles fan, and for all Xbox fans, I get it. It's a bit nothing to look forward to. But then, like, it will change.
This is the lowest point ever in Xbox's history of 20 years. And I've been doing
exclusives.
Yes.
Yeah. In terms of the year.
Well, I mean, I guess they kind of had a lot of good PR and they've had a lot of good optics until you look at the first party thing. But I've been doing
it's only like half a year's already done, Cole. Like I'm very critical of it, and I'm saying it's a bit.
But I mean, Gaz, it is going to run until I don't think Redfall is coming out any earlier than February or March. So it's going to continue until we get into like the break of spring. And I've been doing Xbox centric content for about 6 years. With a year plus of that where nobody was watching my content. And there was always every week or every couple days, there was something to make a video about. And sometimes I just wait and put it all together. Right.
Yeah.
I've never had to what it was when I came home from LA with Hargeet and Dante and Dark CMF, who's in the chat, a good friend of mine. Like we all were at that show. We came home and it's been like tumbleweeds. It has not been like there was a little bit of this, Gaz, last year in around August. I did a Grand Theft Auto trilogy remaster video because I had nothing that I wanted to talk about. We were talked about this last year. There is a lull after the showcase, but
it is, and it's okay to talk about it. Someone's like, "Can we stop crying about it?" No, because people are. Someone super chatting. You would say, "Shut up! Let's not talk about it." No, people can. There are people in there that will constantly come. I have lots of games to play. Good for you. But we're talking about a guy who does feel that way. And let's read the super chat and talk about it. I see the same characters again and again. They're complaining about it, but it's undeniable. As content creators, we have to talk about these things, man. If you want an echo chamber podcast, this isn't it. I'm sorry. Like,
right. Let me read a couple.
You brought me here to be real. You brought me on here, and I get it.
I did.
People will be
and
like,
you know, it's helped me get out of my shell and be more open because I've been on podcasts where there's lots of people on and starting this podcast where it's just you and me. There's more time for us to naturally talk about how things work. But I got a couple member chats. Risk It for the Biscuit says, "Good day, Colton, Gaz. Happy birthday to you both. Those falsies look amazing, Gaz. When do you think this ABK deal will close and what goes to Game Pass?"
Summer next year.
Summer. And
summer next year.
I think they're going to do what they did with Bethesda. They're going to grab 20 or 30 games and they're just going to start shoveling them in like they did.
That's insane. Bethesda. The day that happens and boom, the floodgates open, it's gonna make Xbox look amazing. And it's going to make PlayStation look really.
And their stuff and their first party will be releasing games when all that happens. It's going to be absolutely nuts.
Call of Duty is going to be a first party title. World of Warcraft
on PlayStation.
Is a first party title.
Yudana Quezada has been a member for 31 months. I don't know what that is in years or dog years, but that's a long time. And he's an awesome mod. He says Xbox can go back to their edgy roots and get the boys game. A commercial with them laser eyeing a PlayStation like Homelander.
Yes. So a lot of people we don't need superhero games. I also think Marvel and DC superhero stuff is not as exciting as people like it, but I do, in my opinion, think that it would go a long way into helping. And the boys would be amazing. Forget all your other stuff. I would pick the boys over Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Umbrella Academy over your run-of-the-mill 1950s comics that have been going on forever. Umbrella Academy is amazing. It's made by the lead singer of Chemical Romance, wrote that comic and adapted that TV show. Pretty amazing. Dark CMF, who I was talking about earlier, he said, stealing a moment of airtime to wish a very happy birthday to my favorite, about to be 8 years old, Luke. Hit that like button, chat. So, all right. Let's see. I got to ask you guys, this is kind of cool. Now, Assassin's Creed, there's a rumor that broke or a leak that broke that the next Assassin's Creed is not in feudal Japan, like some people are reporting, but they're going one country over.
To
Baghdad. And you talked to your buddy Safe about this. The first one took place in Israel, basically.
Middle East,
Yeah, Palestine. I mean, it takes place in Jerusalem and in that area, right?
Yeah.
during the Crusades. Which fantastic! What a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Baghdad. What are they going to do with this? Like, what are the possibilities of an Assassin's Creed game set in the old ages in Baghdad? Or I don't even know what the country was called back in the whatever like timeline. I don't know what timeline they'd use, but what do you know? What can you
Iraq has a very deep history there. Like the first university ever was there. It was the hub of knowledge and exchange. It was way ahead back then. It's a cultural beacon there. This is just crazy considering the contrast with what it is now. But yeah, I mean, it's quite bold to do it there. And Saif, who he's from Iraq, and he actually almost got the job for the voice acting of the main leader in Assassin's Creed, and I don't know which one. And that's why I was like, yo, you need to reapply. You're Iraqi.
Did he apply to be Bayat? Because I wanted to also say that in Origins, they've been to Egypt, they've been to Israel, and now they're possibly going to Iraq, which is right in like the center of the Middle East, where they've kind of they've covered these games. The world is their oyster for sure.
I'm very excited. For me personally, it's like, well, I'm not Arab, but I like that setting, so I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm like, what will they do? I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed games, although I would love a Japan one. I think that would get me in there quite a bit. So quite intrigued. Japan is the one though, but
Japan is the one that everybody wants. But then it would just it would just pale to Tsushima, because Tsushima just did like a Ubisoft game really well, right? Because we wanted that. But then when I think about, because you haven't, how much of Origins and Odyssey have you played? Because they're my favorites.
Much.
They're really good. They're
I'll play Origins. Ever since play or Odyssey, one of them. Ever since played one of these.
They're both so good. It's so hard for me to pick a favorite. I'm not very well versed in this, but the first thing I thought when I played Origins and Odyssey was it felt like kind of like a Zelda game. It was more open. You slash where you want to slash. There wasn't the counter combat. You have to get in proximity and slash in the direction of the enemy. You have to parry, and it just has a really good feel. And you level up and you find tiered gear. Bro, you need to play Origins, especially.
The funny thing is, I get to play the game before everyone else because my friend works there. Every time I go to his place, he's got a build there. I'm like, And he's like, you're such a piece of friend. I'm working on this game and you don't care about it. I'm like, But I got to meet the voice actors. They're so cool. The studios.
So Saif applied to be a voice actor in like Origins or something?
He almost got shortlisted and he almost got it. And then something happened and someone beat him to the punch. And it's just like, in an Ubisoft office somewhere, my Blade Runner poster is hanging.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the chat, for those of you who are listening to the show on demand and you can't see it. I'm writing favorite AC, meaning Assassin's Creed game, favorite AC game, and I'm only gonna give you two options because I think they're so similar. Origins, which takes place in Egypt, or Odyssey. What did you just bang your knee on the?
No, almost knocked my source cup. A2 is like, Gaz is about to risk it all and leak everything. I do know a few things. I did tell everyone that Skull and Bones in February it's coming out. I already knew it was coming out this year as well because they were doing the voice acting for it. There's also something else that I can't really talk about. But my friend works there. I'm not an insider. My mate actually works there, and he's like, "Don't talk about this." So I didn't.
No talk.
All I said,
nice.
But I did say I had on good authority that it's progressing well, which is fine. Ubisoft, that's good things, right? So yeah, no, I will try it. Assassin's Creed. I'm going back to this. I need to play Red Dead. I need to complete Guardians of the Galaxy.
Geez.
I went on there.
Oh my gosh! Here's what I just need to get you on. I'll get you on Party Chat one day and just have you load up Origins and just play through a little bit of it, and I bet you'll get hooked in. I want to ask you about. You talked about Skull and Bones. They're adamant that it's ready. They gave it an extra year or plus. They're kind of pushing their games out, but they just announced a delay a couple days ago, a Ubisoft game that I think I said on here wasn't going to make this year. I think we talked about it last week. Do you remember what game they just delayed?
No.
Avatar. Avatar.
Yeah.
So that game, I was like, that's why I said, if you haven't seen gameplay, it's not coming out this year. Like, there's no way. I even have my wonders about Hogwarts, right? Hogwarts Legacy. We've seen a bunch of gameplay, but then when they get quiet, you have to wonder if it's going to make it.
Loads of games got delayed today. We got what got delayed today? What's that game? It's Lord of the Rings game, Gollum. That got delayed. And then another game got delayed as well. I forgot the name of it. Loads of it.
Another one besides Gollum?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, Justy Spud says the Assassin's Creed franchise is better than Valhalla. Valhalla I really liked, and then 30 or 40 hours later, I'm like, no, this one's not up there. But yeah, don't play Valhalla, guys. It kind of wastes your time, even though it's got some good moments. I hate to critique a game because there's people that really like stuff, but hey, we get our own opinions, don't we? Sleeping Vistas with a $5 Australian. Thank you, Sweeping, again and again. Says, Gaz, if you spend all of your leave playing games and making content, will you have time to go to E3 next year?
Yeah, because I'll be making content while I'm at E3. I already have that planned. Yeah, I've got 30 days annual leave left. That means how much I haven't used because loads got carried over from last year. And my work doesn't allow me to do it. That's the problem. But I'm trying to. I'm really just focused on that. But I will take, and I'm going to be covering more games, not just Source, but a lot more games in the videos, like old ones, retrospectives, and more. I think it's really important. I was telling you, Cole, to brush up on the. Like, literally, can't just sit here and wait for Xbox. I know the algorithm probably favors you in that kind of news front, but just stretch the algorithm, man. It's like, no, you need to stop pigeonholing me in here. In my opinion, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, anyway, there are lots of.
For him, I'll take you to E3 with me if you destroy your PlayStation.
Lars Hansen with the Danish 50 says, looks like roles are reversed this year. Thank you, Lars. He says Microsoft are the good guys and Sony are the bad guys who are anti-consumer and greedy.
Yeah.
Now, isn't Stray locked behind the highest tier or one of the higher tiers of PS Plus? I don't know if anybody knows that answer.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I bought it on PC. It is. It always happens, and PlayStation is by far more anti-consumer than Xbox. Xbox has done everything right in terms of, well, more or less everything right in terms of being pro-consumer. Now the games need to talk. That's the ultimate pro-consumer move. But ultimately, Xbox and PlayStation. It's so funny to say this now. Xbox is like there. PlayStation is there in terms of pro-consumer moves, and we've seen the fan base really just capping hard for full price remake of The Last of Us, which to me says a lot. I get it if you take value in it. I get it if you think it's worth it. But people try to shut down the argument or being such clowns and defending it, then you've locked yourself out of any value proposition argument in the future. You dare not open your mouth against microtransactions or anything like that.
I think I can sum it up fairly quickly by saying that it's too soon for that remaster. It's already been remastered. And
I think so.
I think it would have been. I think if it was priced at $60, it really should be a $40 price point, because the very first reaction was that should be free. Xbox does their remasters for free, but that's just up-res and stuff that is more easily done. But I just really think it's too soon with the third version already in 9 years, right?
Yeah.
And pricing it at the 70, we're worth it. You know, the L'Oreal thing, like, we're worth $70 with the no multiplayer. That's what bugs people, I think. People can't run away from that.
You can't.
This is a
You're
cool
absolutely
message.
right.
This is a cool message because I have also been a professional videographer for many years. Well, the old days of my wife and I used to shoot events, weddings, you name it, right? and I've done a lot of videography work for my job, go out in the field and shoot stuff and then create productions. Red Wolf says, as a professional videographer, I have to bounce between video projects to avoid burnout. The same goes with games due to ADD. Can you two speak on this? Yes, we can. That's a really great. I'm going to take it to Gaz first because I think the three of us are in the same boat. He's talking about bouncing between games. So take it, Gaz.
Absolutely. For ADD sufferer. Yeah, absolutely. I get burned out all the time. What hasn't happened is, you get gaming lull. You can't be really asked to play any games, but that hasn't happened in a long time for me now, like quite a few years. I've stopped playing Apex because the bloody EA system on PC is nonsense. But I get that a lot, and right now I'm not joking or exaggerating when I say Quick Resume is making it really difficult for me to stay focused on a single game.
I mean, is that specifically an ADD problem? And I'll ask the chat as well. Is it attention deficit problem where you could be playing a game for a little while and you're like, my mind's wandering, I'm not really paying attention, I'm not really having fun, I'm gonna turn this off and play a different game? Because I have that same feeling. I can be playing MLB talking, but I got to be talking to somebody because I kind of multitask, and every once in a while I turn their voices off so I can hear the game, because I'm just bouncing back and forth. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I need to go play Forza, or I need to go shoot something, right?
Yeah.
But
it's
I mean,
a good problem to have.
Strong ADD.
It's my fault. I mean, no one's forcing me to play 15 games at the same time, but it's Quick Resume has fundamentally changed the way I play games. I feel like I play loads of different levels. Like I'll play a level of Death's Door, then I would go into another game. Like I played It Takes Two with Hoggy and did that like for an hour. Before that, I was playing a few races of Forza, and before that, I was playing something else. And it's nice. I can't go back to not doing that. To the point where on PC, I feel a little bit weirded out, where I'm like, I can only boot this one game. I'm not going to boot up 16 games and throw it on my PC. Nothing has it. Xbox has something PlayStation will copy it. PlayStation, the next console, whatever, it will copy it, because that's a big game changer for me. I think it will make a big difference to a lot of people's enjoyment.
I think it must be an ADD thing. Like I'll be in party chats with people like you, Rand, Zocker, Dealer, and other people like Obi or whoever. Then a lot of people who know, like Mav, who's in the chat. Like I was in party chat with him last night. I probably played 3 games during that 2 hours that we were party chatting. And I feel like I have to jump off to what I'm playing at a certain point, and I have to go to something else. And I don't see them do that as much as I am. Like I can look at the party chat once in a while. But for those of you who don't use Quick Resume, you can't discredit. When you launch a game, you get studio logo, publisher logo, credits, warning, start screen, load screen, choose your save, hit A, load into your game, and you can go, right? And it takes longer than what I just said. But with Quick Resume, it's like 6 seconds and you're back exactly where you left off, unpause the game, and you're playing exactly where you are on like 6 to 10 games. It's crazy. Red Hood in the chat says he's the same way. I just don't know if maybe a lot of us have some sort of level of ADD, or maybe it's just our generation and beyond has like the shorter and shorter attention span.
We have a lot of this, like this. We're kind of like, it's kind of sad, really. We're in this age where we need, with social media, this dopamine fix all the time. So it's making our attention span shorter as we crave that dopamine hit in everything, from micro interactions with everything, like social media, on Twitter, like hit the notification thing, on Instagram, on Snapchat, and then on gaming, like
short little funny videos or short little memes.
I'm doing that on Instagram now. I'm just looking at loads of these little reels and just sharing that there. And I'm like, oh no, like not another thing. I have no time. I sleep for 4 hours a day at average. I need to stop doing that. So yeah, it is what it is.
this super chat from Justin Maroney with the $20 super. Thank you so much, Justin, for sending that. He says, I just want to say I love the new Xbox lamp. And he's referring to the little meme I shared for our podcast tonight of the bug zapper that says Xbox News and the little PlayStation fan going, yeah, Xbox has no games. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to go poke the bear, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's been little things like that. We got like Mag in the community. We got to have him on again, Gaz. I was laughing. I was in the pool just enjoying the day, and it made me think of his little villain music when he rolled up with the inflatable unicorn floaty and says, "Ha Xbox has no games." And he got like I don't know, 80,000 views on Twitter. Freaking awesome. Let me get the next topic, Gaz, or we'll be here all day making fun of stuff.
Sorry.
Let's talk. Let's shake it up a little bit. Skill Up, who's a great Australian YouTuber, previewed 4 hours. He got 4 hours time with Saints Row, and I was so excited, but got deflated when I watched this video. I'm pretty sure you haven't checked it out. Raise your hand in the chat if you watched some of Skill Up's video regarding Saints Row this morning or last night, depending on where you're at. You haven't seen it, right, Gaz?
I saw IGN's final preview coverage of it. Sorry, I'm looking at magnesium and Amazon. Someone said that helps you sleep. I watched the Saints Row. Magnesium apparently helps you sleep.
I don't have problems sleeping. I just put on Xbox 2 and I'm gone. I love you, Randall, Thor, and Jez. You guys are amazing. No, I actually get in this weird thing where I put on like a science-related video or physics-related video and I go out because I like to learn something, but I'm so sorry, guys.
Don't say sorry to me. Someone's clipping that.
I mean, we have the most boring show on earth, right, guys?
No, we don't.
I'm sorry. You know what?
Yeah, sorry. What were you saying?
Well, Saints Row. So I was excited for Saints Row and the dialogue, bro. The dialogue between these characters.
Oh my God. I saw that in the preview.
Bro, they are all like the same personality.
Gen Z. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, let's wipe away the Gen Z. Let's wipe away the woke, all those finger pointing things, right?
Finger pointing.
It's your classic somebody who thinks they're funny writing all the dialogue for the characters, and every character is like, my line is going to be funnier than your line, and it's not.
Yes.
Like the guy that I could pull it up, but like one guy was like, last time we did that, I got stabbed 3 times. And his friend goes, well, if Janice and I wouldn't have shown up, you would have been stabbed 4 times. He goes, yeah, bro, but you were too late. I wouldn't have been stabbed at all. And I'm like, this is the punchline. And one guy like is shirtless and kind of has like a physique, and he's got colorful tattoos. He's got pink beats around his neck, like the dude. He's got the high and tight with the beautiful hair over here. I wish I had, right? And then the other guy looks like Marcus from Watch Dogs 2. He's got the bow tie and the green shiny suit, and he's just all hipstered out. And I was like, oh,
I can't vibe with it. I love Saints Row 1 and 2. I'm old school, man. Like, my favorite comedy is Friday. My comedians, like, I mean, okay, I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here, but this is such an old man thing to say, but I genuinely think the latest, whatever, the new Z, I don't even know what they call it, their humor is so crap. Like, they're not stand-up comedians. Their generation can't be stand-up comedians.
Let me interrupt you for just a second, because the 20-somethings, they say some funny, outlandish crap, but they also laugh some really dumb stuff. But I don't know if that, like you said, if that makes us super
Zoomers.
Old. Okay. Zoomers. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
But I'm pretty in tune with like what works that are highly comedically rated. Chat, let us know that is really like held at the upper echelons. There's no Dave Chappelle's in this generation. You must be joking, or Bill Burr's or whatever. Like,
I don't think the Zoomers have any comedians, actually.
That's what I'm saying. Which stand-up comedian is a Zoomer? You're like, he's hilarious or she's hilarious. I don't.
What do
I
they?
don't see it.
What do they have? Pete Davidson or something? I don't know.
Maybe we just don't know. Maybe
let
we
me
just
say
don't
something.
know. I don't know.
Let me counter your argument and say I've always thought the original Saints Rows were super cheesy, and because I was really about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and Saints Row made fun of that game, so it's always been really cheesy. And like Wendy's restaurants called Frecklebees, the bad word, and well, I'll just say it. Where you get your car customized in the original Saints Row trilogy and part 4 or whatever is a place called Rim Jobs, where you get your rims and deck out your car. Now they've changed the name to Jim Robs.
It kind of works. It kind of works because it's kind of almost like a play of itself. So, but
right. But it's also like, because let's be honest, guys, the foul, really disgusting, and I don't know, that kind of humor kind of went away and kind of went out of fashion. Am I crazy? Crazy?
I know where you're coming from. The Saints Row series, incidentally, took it way too far with the gags, with the dildo gags and all the stupid guns and stuff. And it lost me at that point. I'm like, this is so.
Yeah, the guy went
top.
The guy went to hell, and he had, dragon wings, which I didn't even play that one. You went into outer space, which I loved, the superhero one.
It's like a Fast and Furious movie. It's just like all that stuff. Like, it's just like, tonally, I don't know, but I hope the gameplay is going to be okay. It's a reboot. I do find the premise of the reboot now, with instead of gangsters, you have a bunch of kids who are still committing criminal acts to pay their student loans off. Kind of funny, could be potentially good, but the sense of humor, I don't know. I never sat there like, there's like.
Well, I mean, it was dorky, right? Like Mav says in the chat, he says like Saints Row 2 is a sweet spot. 3 was my favorite one because the third person, the shooting and the driving mechanics were just, they felt so good. And I can't stand up on the camera, but the way your character moved in 1 and 2, he's like with his knees up in the air, the way he ran, like it was so stilted.
I remember my character was really long, which is what I wear now. I love wearing oversized t-shirts, and he was just running around like
big old denim jeans where the denim is like this big, the texture is so exaggerated. I really like those games, but Skillup says that the gameplay has not improved, and the shooting feels weird on a controller, like he's never experienced. And he asked, he said Austin Evans was there at the event as well, and he went up to him after they played, and he's like, was the shooting off? And Austin's like, I was gonna say there's something wrong with it, but those are two people that are always on mouse and keyboard. But he says from what they know from controller shooting, something was just felt not very accurate. But oh my gosh, Fuzzy Belvedere brought up the dubstep gun, which was freaking amazing. Do you remember that in Saints 3?
No,
it's like so awesome. And dubstep was such a joke 10 years ago. I loved it.
10 years ago, go to any club in Vegas, they still play dubstep. Your music is 10 years behind the rest of Europe. I'm sorry,
my music,
America.
I'm still listening to 80s music. You can
I mean in deep house kind of electronic music.
I'm sure. They're still playing
terrible, such terrible music. Fix up, America.
So he said it should be a reboot. It's supposed to be a reboot, but it feels like they just slightly brought 4 into the new generation. It also says that Saints Row is on PS4 and Xbox One. So he said there's nothing they were going to do that was going to break out of the mold of last generation. And like you were saying, Gaz, like we're getting a solid 2 full years of cross-gen with like 2 exceptions. The Medium and Ratchet and Clank, right? That's basically, I mean, there's a couple more, but
there's a couple more on PlayStation side. In terms of multiplats, they're not. Xbox is starting to edge forward in the comparative races even more now against the PlayStation in terms of power. I'm seeing that bright memory was a marked difference. it may. Do you think developers are starting to get accustomed with the box and the tools more? Is that why we're seeing this divide?
Yeah. Let's talk about how almost every game runs 15 to 25% better on the Series X than the PS5, and how you've seen, Gaz, how the Series S is almost catching up to the PS5
in some places. Yeah, like almost parity. Yeah, it's
there's a reason why. I think I said on this show or in your show, I feel like you were there. I talked to someone from Xbox that said once these games become more CPU constrained, more CPU intensive, that's when you'll see the overclocked PS5 fall further and further behind. And with super resolution, the Series S will sit right next to the PS5 in performance.
The day that happens, really, if it happens, the source video will be insufferable for PlayStation fans.
Chat, did you watch his last sauce video when he had the hoodie on and he wrote that like speaking rap and it went to the music? Oh.
It's not for the family, but yeah. Thank you, man.
Don't watch with your kids. Let me grab a couple supers before we move forward. Let me say, because I think I want to move away from Saints Row. I don't know if you have anything else to say, but I'm super excited to play it. I told Dealer about my concerns. He's like, bro, we're gonna have so much fun playing in co-op. We're gonna, motorcycles, hoverboards. It's gonna be great. Let's see. We got Rock88, thank you so much for the $2 super. Says, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the sauce also. Love it. Udani Kizada with a $5 super says, thanks, Udani. Says, so what did you and Gaz think of the over-the-top fourth wall breaking comedy of Sunset Overdrive? Sunset Overdrive was cheesy and some stuff I didn't think was all very funny.
Oh, terrible sense of humor. A great question there. Great question.
Yeah. Did you feel the same way?
Some bits were kind of like they broke the fourth wall. That was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But the humor generally was just like,
I get this like, or whatever they say, right?
Humor. It's so dumb. It's like, look at Rick and Morty. That's how you do humor. That kind of
stab.
Stab. But that's a acquired taste as well. But that Rick and Morty's humor, brilliant, very deep, funny. It's just like quite clever.
I mean, that guy gets it, right? Justin, whatever his name is, he gets it. The humor. Because I don't watch Rick and Morty, actually. I mean, obviously. Look at me, right?
What do you mean? You should watch it.
I've only watched like 1 or 2 episodes with my daughter, and I was like, oh, this is he had this like something he stole from an alien planet, and he had the guy. Anyway, I was like, oh, okay.
You have to watch it. Hey, bro, you would love it. What are you talking about?
I know I need to watch it, but I played Trover Saves the Universe. I played Trover and I was laughing my butt off. And Dealer goes like, this is this guy's comedy. Like, it's so, he just gets it. Dark CMF.
High on Life.
High on Life's going to be so good.
And
I think it's going to.
Yeah.
Well, Trover, I don't know if Trover made a big splash, but it was so funny. I didn't finish it because it's kind of adapted out of VR. I don't know how popular
the VR version.
Yeah, I've got the console version. It's kind of been adapted to play on console, and it just gets a little weird doing that with the controls. But anyway,
on VR is hilarious. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, and that's why High on Life, man, is going to be hilarious. That's why
it's very
so funny
rare.
We're talking about comedy, and then High on Life is actually coming out this year and on Game Pass. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, can you think of games that were actually funny? Because I feel like a lot of them. Game developers are really talented and writers are really good at doing story and stuff, but the comedy stuff never really lands in most video games.
I like South Park humor, so I liked Stick of Truth. That is one of the few games that made me laugh out loud. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's crazy. Like, even the create a character stuff, South Park stuff, made me laugh my ass off. But that's a very good question, Cole.
I laughed quite a bit out loud during Guardians of the Galaxy because the writing was really good and the jokes were done really well. We're going to go toe-to-toe with Bing Fang Boom, and what Drax goes, we will stomp his toes. So it's just like the stuff that they wrote in there is really good, and you don't laugh often in video games.
I did kind of like, laugh like you kind of blow air from your nostrils, like.
Yeah, you'll get that. Yeah.
Like,
No, but I laughed. I actually did really laugh out loud a couple times in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I laughed at Avengers.
The fact that Xbox does no games. No.
I hate you. Dark CMF says they have the YouTube and memes. Thank you for the $10 Dark. Yeah, that's how we laugh, is the memes. The memes, sometimes I'll just scroll through something, and we got J-Rock in the community who is freaking hilarious. He's got it figured out. Splendiferous with the $2. Thank you, Splendiferous. Says Colton Gaz. Dang it, I should have you read this one because he does the because when I read it, I sound like an old white guy. But
bro, I'm not Jamaican, but I hang around a lot of Jamaican peeps. But I'll try and read this Splendiferous, right? Colton Gaz, big up da bop what? Rand will clap back. Basically, Rand will clap his own cheeks.
Whenever I hear that, I think of the guy that you do jobs for in Grand Theft Auto 4. Because I'm like, what's this phrase mean? And you're telling me, you're like, don't say it out loud in front of other people. Red Wolf with the $10 super. Thank you, Red Wolf. Says, thank you for your thoughts on that, guys. Gaz, hit me up in party chat. Why you ask? Content idea that I can help with that as well as you, Colt. Just an outreach, no pressure. You guys rock. Red Wolf, just send us a message if you see us on, or you see one of us on. I don't know what your gamer tag is. If it's Red Wolf and I recognize it, we'll hit it up. Yeah. Thank you so much. Talk and Shoot Gaming with the $2 super says, will we hear about Avowed at the Game Awards? Oh, I'm just going to ask you that one, Gaz.
No.
December.
Okay.
You think you're saying no? I think yes.
You think Avowed's going to be shown in December this year? I think
they should. I think they
should, but will they?
I mean, why wouldn't Avowed come out by December of next year? So I think they're ready to talk about it. The 12-month thing is only being held to this E3 and Gamescom. So, but I also said we'd see it at E3. So I don't know.
That sounds
Mav, thank you so much for the $5. He says, hit the like button, peeps. Great shows always, fellas. By the way, Power Simulator, Game of the Year, 2022. You haven't played Power Simulator. Don't
Simulator.
Don't play it. It's so tiring. But people have found some type of like cathartic satisfaction from it. My son and I played through a level for about an hour, and I was like, I need a nap. It's kind of cool. But I got to bring this up real quick, guys. Jamie Moran, who's in the on the Twitter community and on YouTube, he said that Guardians of the Galaxy, his quote was, that is my game of the year for 2021. You guys have to play it. It's in Game Pass. That was his tweet. And he got several replies, guys, saying that game is good. It's kind of mid. There's no way it's game of the year. And I said, read the tweet again. And they said, I know, I did. It's not game of the year. And I said, he said it's my game of the year. And they're like, it's not game of the year material. And it went on and on. Have you seen this type of discourse that happens?
All the time. Oh, you think I don't get it from the Halo community all the time? Although I'm there saying the things I'm saying, but it's just like all the time. Like you just like it's an opinion. It's an opinion. Just like
Biff Rinaldi, thank you for the 5. He says PSA saying I can't stand up on camera is code for I'm not wearing pants. When I said I couldn't stand up, no, I don't want to stand up and pantomime out a Saints Row. You know what? Maybe I'm not wearing pants. How about that, huh? I'm wearing shorts. I just don't like to stand up. It's hot in here, all right? No, I'm not going to stand up and do a full body animation for you guys. That's on a different stream. So anyway, moving forward, let's talk about campaign co-op. Are you in the insider thing? Have you loaded it up? Have you tried it?
I've got the insider thing, but I haven't bothered.
Okay. Well, I said last week on this show that I played it with Hargate. We didn't get out to the open ring. It was a little glitchy, a little buggy sometimes. You could kind of break the camera, sort of. We were being chased down the broken inside of that shipwreck in the dark, and we like went too high away from where the game wanted us to be, and it couldn't figure out where it should trigger us to move the next thing. I'm like, they got to fix that. But one of the big outrages right now is you cannot do online matchmaking to play the campaign co-op with random strangers.
Who cares? I saw that today. Who cares? Like the Halos never had matchmaking. Find some friends. It's not really. I guess it's like a feature that you can potentially have, but Halo's never had that, and it's the kind of game you would want to experience with a friend or co-op or split screen with a family member. It's not a big deal. I saw so many people like Red Dragon. For some reason, he's having a personal crisis. This guy
Red Dragon.
He used to be a massive Xbox last generation. He's just stoking the flames for the sake of it. But the guy looks like he drinks a lot of bleach, because it's like, oh no, you can't say anything. I'm the most vocal like critic of 343, but I'm like, calm down. That's not a big deal.
Or he just sucks on chlorine tablets. Oddly, I don't know what in the heck's going on. Which are pretty good. I would recommend them for anybody over the age of 50. Now, well, I shouldn't say that. No, that's no. Red Dragon just trying to get attention. Yeah, I mean,
what do you mean? You told me he's a piece of.
I love it. Not a big deal for co-op, but this is kind of cool. Jess Corden said that Japan is making headway, but this is an interesting quote from a influencer in Japan related to gaming. Said, Xbox still remains a niche interest for most Japanese gamers and game developers alike, reminding us that many game developers often forget to mention the Xbox versions of their games at all, even if they're actually in the works, which is super weird, right?
Yeah.
So,
wait. Sorry, I need to read out Gamer Bomb's super chat. Not super chat, just chat. Halo Infinite's campaign is awesome. The gameplay is fantastic. It's the live service MP that needs work. Gaz, you need to say that when you critique it. No, I don't.
Hold on. You have to go back. I have to see it while you read it. Who was it?
It's not super chat. It's just a normal chat.
No,
it's like,
chat.
you have to say it this way. Yeah, MP needs work. So does campaign. There's no roadmap. You have a cliffhanger with no biomes in there. No, just no. Don't do that again. Or do it again.
I was
triggered
told.
Me so hard. Sorry, I apologize. That triggered me so much.
I get the same thing. I was told. Colton Adidas shorts. No.
Sometimes we just say something, or
I don't know if
say this. No, I don't.
I don't know if this was said publicly, so I'll just be general about it. But I was told not to expect Halo to reach its proper form until 2024. So over the next year, they're barely going to deliver whatever is season 2 and season 3. We won't see anything meaningful or anything single player edition. Maybe not even like showcase until 2024. So they're way behind, and it's super weird because some of these games that take 2 years to get their legs as they're released, I don't even know if that would have helped Halo Infinite releasing in 2023 even.
You know what, as much as to say delay Halo has a more fundamental problem with its developing outfit. The contractors, Jason Schreier's article that kind of dug into it, and it's obvious. From the moment 343 took on Halo, there have been problems with Halo, so there's a problem there. I'm sorry, people, you have to understand there's a problem with that studio. Things which maybe change.
The game
Halo
is so
will only
fun.
be good in 2-3 years, maybe then.
The game is so fun. Like it will be amazing. Everything will be banging on all the cylinders. That's just
when.
Like I said, 2024.
2024. Actually, that's 2 years. Yeah.
I mean, if you were expecting to play Halo, on the regular for that long, maybe there are people that do. People who play Call of Duty, they have the luxury of every year they get to reset with a brand new experience. And Halo has the burden of being relevant for 10 years every month. So we've said quite a bit on this show for that, for sure.
Yeah.
Abaca. Darn, I hate it when I do that. Abacab72, thank you for the $5. Says, funny games to him are both South Park games, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Armed and Dangerous on the OG Xbox. Ooh, those are the way back in the old days for those last two. Risk for the Biscuit says, Cole, I didn't like Rick and Morty when I first watched it. You ought to give it a chance. It's hilarious. Watch it before High on Life. You'll love it. Which, yeah, I probably should. I don't even know when High on Life. I was telling you at the beginning of the show, guys, I don't have a mental calendar of actually what's releasing when. I just kind of like block that out, and I won't know until the date gets so close that I'm like ready to, pay for it.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the opposite now. I'm populating a calendar to get organized because I need to do more content.
I probably should do the same. But we were talking about this Japanese development of Xbox. One of the quotes was, in this, they're hiring for a job that says, in this role, you will develop a strong personal relationship with key executive partners across Japan's gaming ecosystem. You'll identify opportunities and create strategic growth plans for partnerships with some of the world's largest game creators. So they're hiring to get headway in Japan. Microsoft said this quote, and then I'll have you take it here. Xbox recognized Japan as the culture heart of video game industry and a creative powerhouse that has created iconic characters and franchises played by millions of people around the world. This is Microsoft's gaming segment talking their executive. Japan has become one of Xbox's fastest growing markets worldwide, and we're excited to see our community of players in Japan grow through choice in how they play, be it on console, PC, or mobile devices with cloud gaming. In Japan, we are focused on growing our team within the country, creating more partnerships with local creators, and bringing Japanese language localization to more of our games. So you have a history of Japanese games that you've played way more of them than I have. So what's Xbox trying to do here?
Xbox is finally getting traction, pretty strong traction. I get it that influencers saying that Xbox is still niche. Yes, generally it is, but it's still on its own right. Forget the PlayStation for a bit. The Xbox in its own right is gaining a lot of traction. Xbox is obviously listening, because in order for Game Pass to be worth it for all the capital injection and expenditure, it needs to be a global phenomenon. It cannot be region specific. It can't be a good in US and Europe. It has to be worldwide. To be honest, I don't understand why Xbox is doing in areas like Saudi in Middle East. Like, if you get someone to hire one of us, like, go there, pay big bucks for that. But get someone, I get so many people from the Middle East tell me, like, Xbox is not doing anything marketing here to market this. Whereas in Japan, they're making a big push because they're starting to see these numbers, because obviously that's a hub, a cultural hub and home for gaming historically. So Xbox cannot ignore Japan, and Xbox is trying its best in Japan. Once the ABK deal is done,
fans are buying the consoles like they'd never been able to experience the Xbox before.
I would love to see what marketing they are doing in Japan, because that doesn't just come out thin air. They're marketing Game Pass, I'm assuming. Because why would Japanese people buy it other than, they're buying the Series last month? I think it was last month. They bought the Series X over the S, like by 8,000 more units or something. It's like, why? That shocked me, and I still don't understand unless they're
why, when they've already set them up to play on the phone, they already love to play games on. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Their internet.
Maybe we were lied to about how no one cares about Xbox, but they've been really popular. When you talk about this year, they've had a good year in a lot of ways. That is one of the ways.
And I think once the ABK deal is done, they will be looking to sweep up Japanese talent when it's done, because you need to. Yeah,
I mean, they're putting a studio in Japan that will be run by Xbox developers to, I don't know, like
understand
a liaison
the culture as well.
Yeah, like a liaison to
there.
Yeah, there's a big cultural shift. And I think when Phil started going over there a few years ago, that they really just weren't in the minds, or they weren't welcomed there. They just have never really been there. So it was a whole new experience. I don't mean the word welcomed, but they've just never really had a presence there. So when Phil started to show up on regularly over the past 3 or 4 years, I think 2019, he started going over there. It was like a new thing. Like, hey, I'm Phil. This is Xbox. We do what PlayStation does, but better. No, I'm just kidding. But
but he's making a big. People don't understand, or maybe a bit dismissive of that. Phil Spencer doing that is Phil Spencer coming out on stage in the last showcase event and just talking primarily about Japan. Is that they're taking it seriously. They're very, very seriously, and I love it. I love it because I saw so many people last gen say, "Give up on Japan. It's a waste of time. Waste of time." Loads of people said it. Like maybe 80% of people said it. And I was one of the few who's like, why? Why do you keep giving them excuse to give up in Japan? At the very least, as a consumer, you'll get a sequel to Lost Odyssey that you really wanted, or a Japanese game, or Persona. And look where we are at now.
Look at blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So
there is another game announced that's not Japanese related, but I just asked the audience where they're sitting on this, because this took people. Jeff Grubb teased this yesterday and then broke it on his show today that EA is working on a Black Panther game, and Xbox has been really close to EA, working with them in the services and partnering with them. EA Play is within Game Pass. It's already folded in there. Yeah. So two things we're going to talk about in concert here, guys, is this new Black Panther game that is being developed by the ex-VP of Monolith Studios that made Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, which is your hero third-person action adventure, combat-related game. They're also, that Monolith team right now is working on Wonder Woman. Both games are not, so to speak, spoken for, but I want to talk to you about Black Panther being a superhero game coming by EA and Wonder Woman, and Xbox has the opportunity right now to say, what kind of deal can we strike? Can we get you in Game Pass, or can we get you first year or 6-month exclusive? Let's talk first about Black Panther. Where's your excitement?
You see the trailers to the new one?
No.
I'm not into superhero movies, but even Zorka is here at the right time. He sensed we were going to talk about Marvel stuff, and he just timed it perfectly. He's going to be like, oh, guys, you're excited. Yes, I'm excited about Black Panther because that is one of the few Marvel movies that I found interesting. But the new trailer is amazing. It's more like, the music was just mad. Trailer cut. Even though the movie's rubbish, at least the trailer's good.
Who's playing Black Panther?
He's dead in this one, isn't it? So it's like a direct sequel. I don't know. Yeah. I don't follow the comic book stuff. But so in the game, apparently Black Panther's already dead. And you're playing as a new Black Panther rather than T'Challa. So there's that. So I don't know what's happening with the Black Panther movie, but the trailer looked insane. The way they melded the two soundtracks, oh my god, it's so good. Like, for me, that kind of stuff, like movie trailers for me, so there's an art in itself. Sorry, I was just said ADHD's kicked off. What was the original question?
Like, this is something the EA's done. This hopefully is on the caliber of Jedi Fallen Order, because you've got this licensed game being made by I don't know what studio is working on, or maybe they don't know that information yet, but Respawn worked for EA to make Jedi Fallen Order, which is fantastic. But you've got this ex-Monolith head who I know you guys in the chat, you liked or enjoyed the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games. They're fantastic. And it's just kind of a weird clashing here where Monolith is working on the Wonder Woman game, and then you've got this Black Panther game, which is most likely a third-person, combat-centered game where you attack and you counter, much like the Batman and Spider-Man combat. We can kind of imagine what it'll feel like, right? Yeah. So this is a situation where I think Xbox needs to say, look, our fans have asked for a superhero game. We don't have anything in the works, but can we crack the wallet like we didn't do in 2022? Can we try and leverage next year there, if this Black Panther game is going to come out in the next couple of years or 3 years, I don't know what it's in early production. They said Wolverine is coming in 2023, probably 2024 or later. So Blade, Xbox needs to step up, right? I mean, how do you feel about this? A lot of people say we need a superhero game. Where are you sitting on that?
I'll be honest, I don't like third party, like kind of timed exclusivity or Xbox resorting to it. Game Pass deal. Actually, Game Pass deal fine because it's not third party. You're not depriving PlayStation from it. You're not doing this weird timed exclusivity.
Why don't you want to deprive PlayStation of a superhero game like they did with Spider-Man and Wolverine?
Yeah, but they're building them in-house. Unless Microsoft's first-party studios are dealing with it, then it's a whole different ball game. But if their first-party studios are dealing with a superhero game, fine. Full green light, do all of that. But PlayStation's building them. Man, Insomniac is their first-party studio. They're doing it, churning out those bangers. So PlayStation, Xbox needs... Black Panther and Xbox would work really well. That'd be amazing. Oh my god, that'd be so salty because Black Panther's huge now. Well, it may have been huge from years ago, but I only found out about Black Panther from the first movie. I'm not a sad nerd like you, Zorka. Dune's better. But yeah, man, I can't get excited for these things, man. Like it's like unless Xbox does it, people talking about it. Punisher, good character. Blade, Spawn. I love Spawn, but Spawn has been associated with Xbox for years. The original Xbox, it was in Soul Calibur as a character, whereas PlayStation got Darth Vader, if I remember correctly. Like Xbox, if you're going to do this superhero thing, then do it first party, or do it when. So, how's PlayStation got KOTOR remake? I'm still like salty over that.
I mean, I don't understand your logic when they've got KOTOR, they've got Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales, Wolverine, they've got these big IPs. KOTOR is only going to be exclusive for maybe a year, maybe 2 years.
That's a timed exclusive, yeah.
And they're just paying for that, right? And
that's not cool. That's not cool. PlayStation shouldn't. That's a. I don't know.
So you think if Xbox says, "Hey, we're not going to be uncool. We're not going to get a timed exclusive," so we can discourage others from doing that. PlayStation will continue to hold games away from their competition.
I'm just saying,
which
I'm not
apparently
excited
only their competition.
No. I'm not saying to get walkover from PlayStation. Need to be slapped around because they will keep doing the timed exclusivity. I'm not asking Xbox to sit back and say, "Kumbaya, we will not do this," and then PlayStation railroads and opens the checkbook like that. No, don't do that. But I think I would like Xbox to put a first-party investment into the superhero genre at the very least. Something like that. The Coalition, do something like that.
Them create their own superhero game that's not Marvel or DC or whatever.
No. Or it could be Marvel
because Zucker
or DC
brings up a good point. Zucker says Xbox isn't paying for big IPs for some reason. Well, the last half of his sentence is Phil has basically said we're not looking to just buy other IPs. We don't want to pay for other IPs and make them. We want to make our own thing. But
X-Men
Indiana Jones is already
Xbox.
in the works.
That's a genius idea. X-Men on Xbox. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, I mean they are partnering with that. They got the Midnight Suns game. There's other rumors about Marvel or DC style games or Star Wars games rumors. And then of course Indiana Jones, like I said, was already in the works several years ago in the plans and came with the purchase, right?
Yeah.
So
that'll be multi-plat most likely. The Boys, your idea was amazing. Boys or Watchmen,
Umbrella
that
Academy
was really good. I love the dark ones, man. Or Umbrella Academy. Do a game like that would fit the Xbox fan base because we like our mature games. Yeah.
Apparently Dust Falls is pretty mature as well, but doesn't look like it. But I don't know. How about Wonder Woman? Monolith has worked very closely with Xbox. Phil has said Monolith Studios is literally across the street, and we've gone over there and checked in with them when they made Shadow War. They partnered with them. Shadow War ran best on Xbox One X because they knew what was going on with the hardware. But they're working on Wonder Woman, and that could be a really cool game. And why not just make up you can't be excited about a Wonder Woman game?
That's me personally.
Yeah.
Xena, Warrior Princess. Yeah. Some older people in chat. Yeah. Xena's hot. No, I mean, fine. If you like Wonder Woman, I don't care about Wonder Woman.
What if Ana de Armas plays
Wonder Woman? Make Wonder Woman happen, please. But
you're so easy to convince, bro. You're so easy to convince. I think I get in the middle of those discussions with people who are like, Xbox needs a superhero game. And I'm like, Xbox just needs great games. I don't care what they make. I don't care like what their IPs are. They just need to be really good. Like I need Indiana Jones to be really good, and all this stuff they're making. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
I think watch this space, because Xbox is going to make a move, and I think one of their first parties is going to make a move on the in this kind of genre, because that's one. It'll be prototype 3. I do that. Could do when the ABK deal is done.
I would love it.
Amazing.
Skillup, when he was talking about Saints Row, he said we just don't get open city sandbox games anymore. Third person open city. Like Cyberpunk was in first person. So you didn't really get these open city sandbox games where you just react with it. And Prototype 3 would be amazing. Rapture01, thank you so much for the $20 super. Says, I love the XNC podcast. Keep up the great work, Colt and Gaz. And thank you for checking out the show. If you're having a good time, hit the like button. This is the XNC podcast live on the Colteastwood channel. And thanks to over 600, 700 people who are here watching the show and listen to our crazy takes about superheroes. And Anna Armis, or whatever her name is, for Gaz's happiness. And thank you so much. It will also be on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. If you want to listen to this on demand while you're mowing my lawn needs to be mowed. If anybody can help me out, I've just been super busy, so I can just play in the pool. That'd be great. I appreciate it. Just the above ground pool that I threw up. That's just let's splash in there. It's been great.
Someone said there are a lot. DJOB says there are a lot of dark comic IPs that would be Xbox. That would be good for Xbox, basically. And I agree. I was actually talking to Jake, our graphic designer. He's like, "Bro, there's loads." And I fell off the comic book space because I like women. No, I was just kidding. That's such an inappropriate comment. I like
so random. So random.
Volko's gonna be in chat. He's gonna be beating the crap because he's a massive comic book guy. No, I'm not. I fell off it. I fell off the thing because I was watching it at the start. I remember comic books. I used to love them. They were so violent. They were so violent. It was perfect. But then I never had any comic books shops near me. But
see, while all of you were reading DC, Marvel, and all the other different comics, and you knew I would say 75% of the characters that are in the movies we've watched over the past 10 years, I learned of because there was a movie. Like, I didn't even know Guardians of the Galaxy existed. I saw the trailer. Yeah. I'm like, what's that? My friend's like, well, you haven't read the comic? I'm like, I've never heard of that, but that looks really good. Yeah, I was reading Calvin and Hobbes back in the day. So I'm such a nerd.
I only know these from the movies. Constantine, I knew them from the movies, like Guardians of the Galaxy. That one. All of these. So
I knew who Spider-Man was, but I couldn't name none of his villains until I watched the movies. Splendiferous with the $2 super. Thank you, Splendiferous. Says, Gaz, is that Irish cream you drinking this late night?
No,
it's mushrooms in floating water. No. Just floating water. Donna Kuzada with the $2 super chat. If you guys stick around, I'll do tons of sound effects on command. Donna Kuzada, thank you for the $2. Says, what if they buy Netflix and get the Miller World? I don't know what that is, but we talked about the Netflix thing. I don't know what's going on with Netflix or how that ties into gaming, but I don't think that's I don't know. I don't know. Splendiferous with another one with the $2 says, Colt, your co-host needs his meds. It's visible. Let me see your face, guys. Look at me.
All right, fine. Let me just get these meds.
What is that? Extends?
I'm just gonna grind these and snort these. No, it's actually vitamin D12 and B12.
Want to see my medicine?
Well, oh god, that's basically crack. That is Mountain Dew.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. We got Sleeping Vistas with the Australian $2. Says, Gaz, read 2000 AD, Judge Dredd, and Scrotum Dog. Hey, I said that correctly.
Scrotum Dog. Okay.
Strontum. I didn't know who Judge Dredd was until the movie came out, and I was like, back in like 94.
I love the Judge Dredd movie, and I kind of regret not reading the comic books because the character is so cool to me. I am the law. I'm the law. Adrian, I'm the law.
Oh, Apollo, you ever eat snails? I'm
What?
a big Sylvester Stallone fan, so I love Rocky 4.
That's how he talks. Is like he's on the
He's
toilet.
amazing.
It's just-
He's amazing.
He's amazing, but he talks like this. I remember this one thing from in the Rocky movie because where the kid, he's training this kid, and the kid betrays him. That piece of, and he's like, "You see, fear is from your heart," and he has slow. I don't just burst.
He's like, "Yeah, yo, Tommy, you hungry?"
Yeah. There was.
Yeah.
There was The Mask. I used to love The Mask with Jim Carrey, and then they had an animated cartoon. And in one episode of The Mask does an impression of
Yes,
him, and it's so funny. I cried.
I haven't seen that
one of
forever.
those few moments where the cartoon just made me laugh. It's just tragic.
Assassin, who's been a member 14 months, says, "Sup, Colt, Gaz, and chat. I want to know which Xbox exclusive deserves a remake, sequel, or revival. Also, why has Yodani not joined the panel yet?" That'd be great. Get Yodani on here.
I don't know what Yodani looks like.
Scared the heck. Yeah, I know what he looks like. What needs to be revived? I'm the worst person to ask because I
do know what he looks
didn't
like.
get it. I didn't get an Xbox until 07. So everyone always has these like brute force. I'm like, I remember playing that. It came with my Xbox original. I was like, oh gosh. And 07, I'm like, ew, this is lame. But I'm sure it was super cool in like 01 or 02. Thunder, Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct's a good shout, Paul. I would say because there's a whole like appeal to get Killer Instinct. The Xbox needs a fighter. That is one of the ones that has a strong chance of coming back. So Killer Instinct, I would say you're not gonna like this answer, but Lost Odyssey, Tao Feng.
I hear that a lot.
It came from Pixel Bit. That was a good answer, but it came from Pixel Bit. Yeah,
which
Tao
one?
Feng was Fist of the Lotus. It was a fighting game. It was not that good, but it was like still. I love the Pariah. You guys are old school, bringing games up like Pariah was. It looked like it had potential there. Tenchu.
Would you guys like to see Rise, Son of Rome get a proper sequel with an actual, with more depth and more scope? Like, like Dealer said, like toward the end something happens, so you should have some afterlife powers in the second one. Or something that kind of goes along with the mythology, like
Jade Empire.
Rise 2 could be really great, but that's
Rise
like a modern
visual heavyweight as well. It still holds up to this day. I haven't played it. Oh, I had played it when it first came out. Thought it was crap, but that's a good game. I guess
I waited till
prove Crytek's.
I waited like 4 years to play it. I'm like, that was pretty good, but dang, there's like 3 enemy faces.
Rise 2. I mean, Rise is a bit. Quantum Break, you must be joking. KOTOR 2 remake, please. Yeah. Well, you know what happened with it. Jade Empire is a great shout, by the way. I might go back and play that on Steam Deck. What else?
It's kind of hard to say because there aren't a lot of
good Xbox.
I mean, Xbox owns a bunch of IPs, but they're kind of dead for a reason. Like Rare has like 20 some IPs that are pretty prominent, but they're just like, they just wouldn't, I don't know if they'd come back up. Like people want Viva Pinata to come back. Viva Pinata like could really capture the Animal Crossing craze. But I think Rare has their hands full and no one else wants to do their stuff. I don't know.
Black and white. Yeah, Peter Molyneux's gone, so that's not happening.
Two Human was an Xbox exclusive that that
was supposed to be a trilogy,
but it was so it didn't have a good landing, right?
I
think it was like a 6 or 7 rated game, and it was an Xbox 360 exclusive. And I played half of it, and I'm like, and I'm done. Like it didn't stick with me, but it looked really good.
Janky, or it had this weird.
It ran horribly on a 360.
And if you died, it'd take you like a minute to get back to respawn or something stupid. The game, though, tonally was, to me, looked amazing. There was this wicked move where You stab someone and then you do this like back gun, laser gun shot, like 180, like brrr. It looks so cool. I was like, yeah, I love that. Bless you. But
did you hear that? I muted it.
You did. Well, I could see you
okay.
sneeze. That was supposed to be a trilogy to Human, and it faltered so badly.
Yikes! It had the mythology thing going on.
Yeah.
My daughter's name is in the game for one of the characters. Justin Duell with a $25 super chat. Thank you so much. He says a Crimson Skies remake would be awesome from the original Xbox generation. That's a flying shooting game.
That gets pushed a lot. I just wonder, Justin, do you think, maybe there was some utility? What would you do in a Crimson Skies and make it relevant to this day? Oh, damn, what's this?
Pushing polygons. Let me read that in a second. I'm trying to remember because I didn't play Crimson Skies. Is it where you're in a biplane, or is it the one where you're the dragons and you shoot?
No.
What was the one that where you it's the dragon flying combat?
Oh, you're talking about
Crimson Dragon.
That's
oh my gosh, that's why I get that mixed up. Yes, I think Crimson Skies is
Otogi
enhanced. Yeah. I think it's one of those games that got the 4K and the frame rate boost via back compat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like if you played it now, it wouldn't destroy your face, right? Yeah. I hear Crimson Skies a lot.
A lot of and Xbox Justin. And Phil Spencer hears it a lot as well. It's a game that could be a live service game that could make more sense, smaller budget. It's not good, but I think it wouldn't do well critically. Poor Simon, thank you. That's what I wanted to say as Colt was saying. I didn't want to interrupt him for the 17th time.
What's that?
Jet Set Radio Future 2.
You did a great video about that.
That was just like in my top 10 list. I was doing a bespoke video just so, you know what? I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that next after the Max Payne one.
A bespoke video about Jet Set. I mean, you kind of got it with Sunset Overdrive, and there's another game that kind of gives you that Jet Set Radio thing, but some of the classics like just get left behind. They really do. Someone was saying like Dark Void when they were trying to guess what game. There is a gem on the 360, and I think I'm pretty sure it's a multi-plat. It is Greg Resident E3 Evil meets, huh?
Sorry, Greg E3 says Flashback remake. Flashback is actually getting a sequel. So sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't play that one either. There is a gem on the 360. I remember when I'd had my 360 console like only a few months. Dark Sector is such a cool game that no one talked about. I think it got like a 7 out of 10. And it was like Resident Evil 4 meets Gears, where it was an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter, and you had this glaive, which was a 3-spoke boomerang that you threw and like took off arms or heads of these like I don't know, cursed zombies. But it was such a cool game, and it had all these different powers. You could put electrical or fire or ice on the glaive, and you did puzzles. Like there's so many great games, and sometimes I wonder like, where is that creativity this generation?
Oh man, yeah, that's the thing. Indies are making all the creative moves. Where's Vigilante 8, the sequel?
But I want the indies to get into get the camera closer. I want third person, right over the shoulder indies, or I want first person. Like most of these indies are like pixel bit side scrollers or top down, and they do really cool, brilliant things. Am I weird?
For instance.
Rail says Dark Sector turned into Warframe. That's so funny. It does feel like that. What a great, amazing super chat from Pushing Polygons, who's always here supporting the show and always, correcting things or straightening things out or talking in the chat. He says, "Hey, Colt and Gaz, sorry I'm late. I was playing 7 Ways to Die with the missus. Hope you had a good show. I did catch the whole back and forth with exclusives. They both do it." He's talking about the timed exclusives. He says, Microsoft just buys the IP and studio outright now because they got bank.
They have they're all in now. They both do it. PlayStation's been doing it pretty rawly for 2 gens now, last gen and now this. So like all's fair in love and war. I get it. I just don't like the practice. So I will say that.
Dude, Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I'm not with you guys. I'm buy whatever you want. I don't care. Just bolster up Xbox because it's been far too long where it's been, it's been what do they call it? Just porridge and
I just
dry
want
bread.
Xboxes. Why are you so blurry? Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
I just want the first
my
party
camera.
to do this stuff. But yeah, no, you're right though. I'm like, don't be kumbaya, Xbox. I want Phil Spencer to have like red in his eyes. I want to be like, yo, PlayStation, don't mess with us. Yeah. I do that. I do like. I just don't like timed exclusivity. Whoever does it, but yeah, fine.
Dark CMF has it with this chat, and I'll give him a high five all the way 4 states away. He says, "I will say this every chance I get. Give us a remaster of the Saboteur."
Never played
Have you played that game? That game's so
Never
cool.
played it. Fair. Yes. Thank you. Trepang
Saboteur, you're an Irish guy in Paris, and the city is black and white until you liberate the Nazis from that area. Then it does like a cutscene where the color washes into that part of the area that you cleared. It's got a little bit of Just Cause where you blow up anything that has red, white, and black insignias on it. Fantastically janky, but very cool game made by Pandemic Studios that closed down right after that game launched. I've preached enough about Saboteur. It's amazing. CJ Mike 1024, thank you so much for the super chat. For the $10, he says, y'all got me in my feelings. I've been wanting a Dark Sector remake. Also, where is the next Vigilante 8 or Twisted Metal?
Yes.
Talk to Jaffe.
Yes, bastard. Where is the Vigilante 8 or Twisted Metal bastard? We need that. We need a Vigilante 8 or Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal apparently is getting a sequel, apparently.
They tried.
Not under the guidance of...
Didn't they try like 10 years ago? They rebooted it on the PS4 and it did not sell.
It didn't do well. It did not do well. It was a good game, but not that great. It just didn't have the Twisted Metal black vibes. Vigilante 8, incredible game, will never get made again. Although a lot of the content, a lot of the talent from Luxoflux actually got swallowed up by Activision Blizzard. And they are there. Or hopefully, or they've left a number of years. But they were swallowed up by thingy. So it could happen, like Xbox could have a car combat game. Xbox needs a car combat game. It's a niche. But I'd love it. I'd love it.
I don't know. I told everybody that Destruction All-Stars was going to be a hit. When I saw it in 2020, I went back and watched my video, and I thought this is going to be great. Like the people that love Rocket League are going to get a little bit of extra, combat, feel from this game. And the game fell on its face. And it makes me think of Twisted Metal didn't hit. Or Destruction All-Stars didn't have a problem with the controls are bad or the visuals are bad or didn't feel good. Like all that felt fine, but maybe today's fans are like, it's not really what we want. I don't know. True.
Oh, Avi F for the win makes a good point. All games are niche to a certain degree. Elden Ring was considered niche, or might still be. Xbox needs a Super Smash Brothers competitor. They have enough characters and IPs for it. That is a great point. Xbox.
Have you played this new game? Some of my friends are playing the new Smash
J-Dub,
Brothers.
J-Rock's
what is
playing,
it?
J-Dub. J-Rock's playing. It's with bloody Scooby-Doo and all of those guys.
I don't even remember what it's called. It's got a name that didn't make me think of what it was.
Chat, please let us know.
Chat, help us out with this Super Smash Brothers game with Scooby-Doo. And what other characters are? Oh, multiverses. Multiverses.
Yeah, multiverses, yeah. Which is quite clever.
What a weird name. But I guess it matched for the characters.
Remember it.
Is it good?
I haven't played it. Are you a pretty serious Smash Bros player? You remember you did the tournaments on our channel at one point, but I haven't tried multiverses. I will try it, but because I see J-Rock play it all the time, and he plays Shaggy all the time, so I do want to play it. Quake, oh my god! Paul, I'm disgusting. It's disgusting. I apologize to everyone for completely missing Quake. How dare I? I don't deserve to be here. Quake.
What? You mean that's your reboot, right?
No, not
now.
reboot. Make a sequel, man.
Make a sequel.
Quake. Yeah.
Oh, Army of Two is great, DP.
Army of
I
Two.
actually really liked Army of Two 40th Day. I don't know if people really loved the second one where you're in Hong Kong. Yeah. I think you're in Hong Kong and you get an achievement for shooting all the tigers or something that are escaping. Right. That's a cool. Those games just don't get made anymore. When I was playing Bright Memory Infinite,
Freedom Fighters. That was an incredible game.
Chad, do you guys remember in the 2010s? For all of you, just take yourself way back, a good 10 years. Do you remember when every year there was a third-person cover shooter and there was a first-person, how do I say this? A third-person gimmicky cover shooter, and I'll explain in a second. And there was a first-person gimmicky first-person shooter. Like every year or every 6 months, some studio had their new version of the new hotness. Now, for the third person, take yourself way back. Fuse by Insomniac was like a 4-player third-person cover team game. There was Binary Domain where you shot the robot people, and it had like the Gears of War cover stuff. There was Inversion, if I got that name right, where you flip the map on its side and there was no gravity. You had a gravity gun and it was a third-person shooter. And then Dark Sector. Like there's all these games that were like the third-person Gears clone with their own take or their own spin on it. And then there was the first-person games like Time Shift, where you had the time where you could slow it down. At the beginning of 360 and PS3 generation, there was Singularity, where you had the 2 wrist things where you could stop time or rewind it or something, right? Remember, this was the golden age of gaming when the 360 was just cranking out. If you're listening, if you're in the background playing a game listening, you're with me. The 360 era, they were cranking out games every 2 years, and you always had something new. Like Homefront, you had like your Call of Duty ripoffs that did something a little different. And now we wait and wait and wait for something that's slightly derivative, I feel like. Spec Ops Online, Stormy says, was another one that came out. It was their third-person cover shooter with a twist, and they were all fantastic. I missed it.
Bulletstorm, that was a great one as well. Yeah, good shout.
Fantastic, bro.
50 Cent was actually really good. 50 Cent, it was in the Middle East killing terrorists, which is crazy. But it was
I heard 50 Cent was good, yeah. What
Psyops.
was the 50...
Who said Psyops? You legend, noob Psyops.
Oh, you said Fear earlier when I interrupted you. Fear 3 was the only one I played. I thought it was awesome. It was a first-person campaign shooter with its own gimmick.
That shotgun and gaming.
Time. Yeah. Oh my god.
Time, scary little Ringo. Amazing AI.
Hargy says, "Yep, 360 was the best gen ever. It really, you got so many games.
I love.
Oh my gosh." Yes.
Yeah, Psyops was amazing. That was, I think, one of the first games that used physics or something, and I was just like, playing with. You know what we also got?
You know what we also got, Gaz, was the 360 era was when games evolved. Do you remember? Take yourselves back another 10 or 12 years. Do you guys remember when the Force Unleashed was first shown? They did a tech demo where they showed the character throwing a concrete brick at a piece of plywood, and it broke back, and they slowed it down. They said, this isn't a canned animation. Depending on where the brick hits the wood, it will split. And then not long after that was all the Havoc's physics engine. Not long after that, Force Unleashed was throwing stormtroopers, dangling them, their legs would move.
Remember that?
Grand Theft Auto 4, you would barely bump a pedestrian and they would stumble. I'm not going to stand up on camera because I'm not wearing pants. Right?
PT4. That was wicked, though. The physics in that were crazy. It's like Max Payne 3, like that.
Yeah.
The physics are better now, better in that game than most games now. I played it completed today.
Have you been to the office where you shoot across all the cubicles and papers fly everywhere?
Yeah. I mean, think about what that was 2 gens ago. Can you imagine what that will do now? They're doing a remake of Max.
When's the last time you saw something that was like, I've never seen this in a video game?
I only saw that in the Matrix Unreal Engine.
That's not a game.
That's not a game. Yeah.
Chat,
I haven't seen it.
Gaz, help me out. When's the last time you saw something in a video game where you're like, this is like next level? We haven't been able to see this in a video game. Like Days Gone's like, wow, that's a lot of zombies. I've never seen that before.
No,
like
I don't care
Dead
about
Rising
that.
had a lot in the distance, but when you had running zombies, but yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
That's a really good question, man. Like Levolution, I guess that was pretty big. Even though it's canned, it was pretty big. On Battlefield 3, that was last gen.
Okay.
I guess. Not that
On
much.
the Xbox One and PS4 generation. Yeah, I just feel like as much as I had so much fun during the Xbox One, PS4 generation, that we kind of got a little bit of what we enjoyed last generation before. Spider with the NOK20 says Advent Rising deserved an Xbox sequel and a remaster. You know Advent Rising.
Advent Rising.
I don't remember that.
Kind of rings a bell. Yeah, Dead Live Beach Volleyball. What's up, Fonz? Dead Live Beach Volleyball.
Shout out to Fonz for doing his commercial for The Last of Us and just ticking off everybody on Twitter
including
today.
Solid Rev.
Did you see his little commercial?
It's so good. It was so good.
Fonz, shout out to Fonz. Fonz, I'm going to say this, and I don't care who hears it. Fonz has the best looking and the highest production podcast of anybody in the whole community. I cannot believe how good his freaking stuff looks, man. He's got the highest. I mean, sorry, Asa. Asa is a wizard behind the scene for you guys' show, but Fonz's stuff just looks. He says so much stuff going on. It's great.
And he does it all, and the hosts. So respect to him.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, I love watching.
He has terrible takes, Fonz, but he's good. I'm just kidding.
We were talking about you, Fonz.
He's gonna message me like, "What's your name?"
We were talking about you, Fonz, earlier. How you don't like anything, but you like Dust Falls. Fonz, I did the Mikey likes it reference from Life Cereal. If Fonz likes it, you're definitely gonna like it. So yeah, we love Fonz. Hargy Chani said his last time he's seen something, he sent a $2 super. He says I've never seen this before, was Flight Sim, and that's true.
I mean, visually,
I'd never seen that.
It was
before.
shocking on PC. Yeah, I haven't tried it on Series X, but it was like, call my friends around. Look at this. It felt disconcertingly real. Like I was like uncomfortable to crash the plane because it's like.
What about the technical prowess of Cyberpunk 2077?
It actually took me a while to get that. God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's going to get a lot better. I was talking to people about the hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. We're about ready to crank out of here, but stuff is really starting to come together now with the XDK. The performance of the Xbox Series S and X are doing what they're supposed to, and we are still fully in cross generation, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. I think 95% of the games we've seen are basically cross gen. They're all and some of them have only been on new consoles, but they're not really they're not really next gen quite yet, and I think it's kind of a fallacy to say that. It's not really a real thing because we don't know what next gen is, because developers don't. I would say, Gaz, maybe you could agree with or disagree with me, but I think most developers don't often think we got to make this game next gen. I think they're trying to make the best game they can make, and they're always somewhere in the middle. They either start their game in the middle of a generation or they start toward the end, and the game just got to be as good as they can make it, and then hopefully it hits the performance they want. I don't think a lot of developers are thinking, how can we go next gen? I think it's still one of the last things on their mind. What do you think?
Well, we saw a couple of devs actually say that the people make Gotham Knights, so like we'll go all next gen, although the game doesn't look next gen. But they said it. At least they said it.
Well, is it next gen like half-aid race tracing and super fast loading times? Like, when you're developing on a console right now, you get to say, look, everybody's going to be on the SSD, on an SSD, system and the hardware, right? When we go to PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles, we don't have to worry about a conventional mechanical hard drive. So we get to enjoy building in quick responsive transition times. But that's just waiting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was playing Fallout 4 or Fallout 76, and it's an old game, but how long is it going to be before we stop walking into a building and we get a loading screen until we get into the building? All that will be gone. But
oh wait, that's a long way away.
But yeah, thank you so much, guys. It's super late. I didn't mean to go this far, but this is the XNC podcast, and thank you everybody who's come to check out the show. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, if everything lands in, I'll have a video out tomorrow or the next day. I have to wait for all the business stuff to go through, but yeah, we're gonna have the multipaths rolling in and all that stuff. So if you want to hear more news, check out Game On Daily and the Go Live podcast on Saturday, and stay here for the regular Colteastwood content and the XSC podcast as we roll in for another week. Thank you so much. Gaz, tell them what you're working on, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Please check out GameOnDaily.com. Game On Daily, one word, and I'm working on Max Payne 3, the video, and why you should play it if you haven't. My God. But yeah, please,
and why
thank you so
much.
It. And everyone should please play it. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, and I apologize, Gaz, for making you so tired every Monday night, but hey, you know what? Oh, well. Yeah, we're going to get out of here, guys. Thanks. Hit the like button on your way out. Let's get that to 400, and we will have this up on Anchor so you can see it on your favorite podcast platform. We're going to hit the button, and Gaz is going to say what he always says every week. See, where's the button? We're out of here.
I'm naked again.